Right, and we are live. Welcome to episode 2, season 2 of the Millennials Gen Z. And just found out this week, Generation Alpha, welcome to this session. You guys are more than welcome to join us. If you are on Facebook, YouTube, reach out, leave your questions, leave your comments, leave your concerns, bring up anything you want to see us address so that way we can talk about it here. I think we got a pretty good topic here tonight, one that should hit every generation that's watching us, and one that will be, I guess, for some people controversial, but not really. So tonight we're just going to talk about music and Christianity and how the two play a pivotal role in our lives and where we're going. So again, as always, this is just a discussion between friends, between people who attend the same gathering center, but we just want to just share what we feel and what we've learned. So I'm your host, William Allspaw, for tonight. And as you can also see, we have Chris and Kristen Crone up there. And then we have Miss Erica Birch down there. How you guys doing tonight?
Yeah.
Doing great.
Great. So let's have some fun. Let's just get to discussing some things. All right. So the topic of music. You hear it all the time. It's everywhere. I mean, would you agree? Like, no matter what you turn on, no matter what you do, your ears are going to hear some music at some point in time in the day. So what is your take? How do you feel when you hear music? What goes through your body and your mind when you start hearing things playing out, whether it's through the radio or the TV or your phone or whatever? Like, what does music do for you or do to you?
Music for me, it reminds me of it's like memories. It's connected to memories for me. Like even if I'm in a store and like an old song I used to listen to when I was like 6 comes on the radio, like it just brings me back there. Or even it don't really matter what genre it is for me. It's just it brings me back to a place when I first heard it and how I felt that.
Okay.
All right. Music, it's just in me. Like I've been brought up off music. Like when I listen to music, it's a way for me to like escape sometimes, just get in my zone. And if the song in particular is just something I'm going through, it just helps me to express. It helps me to just get away.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What would you say, Erica?
I don't know. I guess I would say music's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely gives you memories. I don't know. Music comes with a lot, It's a broad question. Like,
okay, but it is a broad question. But I think CJ brought up a good point. It has a sense of hooking your emotions. It has a way of bringing you into things. Certain songs can bring out the emotional aspect of you. Like for instance, if we had a ballad playing right now, if it's a soft ballad, you may just sit up here and just start nodding your head and rocking side to side and maybe make you think about the person that you have affection for. Or if somebody else starts playing a song and it's a little bit more up tempo, you may just think about a fun time you had during the summer, hanging out with your best friend, walking in the mall. Music has been proven to have an effect on your emotions, no matter what you want to say about it. I don't care who you are. If you have a spirit, if you have a soul, if you have breath in your body, music has an impact on you. So what are some of the positives we can see that music has on us, the positive impacts it can have on us? And let's also address some of the negative aspects. And then from the Christian's perspective, let's talk about, where do we draw a line with our music? Do we have to draw a line with our music? Are there certain things we can bring ourselves into that we can listen to that are enjoyable, or do we have to pull ourselves out of certain things? So let's start off with talking about the positives that music can bring to your life. All right. Who wants to go first?
first.
Okay. Positives. Well, it's fun, if that's the word for it. Like, like Chris said, it just does something to you sometimes. But like, to go in more detail, like classical music, for example, that helps me to study. It helps me to concentrate on my work somehow. It helps me to focus. But like, even, it helps you. This could be positive and negative, but it brings you to a mood, if that makes sense. Like, if I want to get into worship, I will play a certain type of song that I know that will get me there. Or back in the day, because I used to like to cry, I would play a song that I know was gonna get me in my feelings so I could cry to it. So I think that's more of a negative side. But it just, because you connect emotionally, like Erica said. So I think the good part of it is it is beneficial to like where you want to be as far as like emotionally. So if you want to be somewhere happy, play some happy music. If you want to be sad, play sad music. If you want to concentrate, use that type of music. So I think it's beneficial, and you can use it to get a message across, positive or negative. Get a message across, they usually put it in their lyrics. So
that's why I told
okay.
That's why I told her first, because she's gonna touch on everything.
Go ahead, Erica.
You said something to get your point across. So, because I do that too. I do that. I might send a song to someone. I might play it like for my mom. I might play for myself, I think music has it's powerful, like, I don't know if people notice how powerful music is, but it's like, okay, how like, okay, when I was little, I was at my grandma's house, right? And there was it wasn't really a scary movie, but to me it was scary because it was like a fast paced and it was black and white. She was scared, right? So I thought it was scary. And she told me, she said, if you mute it, there's no sound, right? But you still looking at the same thing. And you're like, this isn't scary until you play it, So it's crazy how music can like affect your feelings, Am I making sense?
Yeah. No, you make a lot of sense.
But that's why when I can't watch movies, I turn it on mute because I can see what's going on. I get the point without being scared. Well, I look away and I cover my ears. Even if I look away and I still hear it, I'm scared. Period.
Like this, trying to tell you. Well, what I want to add to that is it's very influential. Music influences. That's why if you listen to the wrong things, it'll influence you to do the wrong things. Whatever that's why I don't be want to go deep, y'all. I promise I don't.
Speak your mind, bro. That's what we're here for.
This is why Satan gets so mad. Lucifer gets so mad because when he was in charge of the music, he influenced. So now that he's in charge of the music, the secular world, and people higher up, their music is like speaking on, things that he wants people to get involved in. It's almost like a trap. He uses that music. So that's why we gotta be careful what we listen to, because some music, some songs open doors to certain things, but on the positive side, when you're listening to like, Christian music and worship music and just uplifting music, it helps you to feel good about yourself or feel good about things. You feel positive, so that's why I say music is very influential.
Okay, wait, you hit something. Okay, I'm gonna give you an example because I don't know how to get it out. So there's a part of a song, I forgot who the artist is. I don't think it's Lecrae, but it's somebody. And they say, if I turn your song off, well, blood gets spilled or something like that. Meaning there's some songs that get you in they're influential to your mental, basically, and your emotions. And with some songs, it might make you mad, right? So I don't know if like you've ever been listening to a secular rapper and somebody might pause it or turn it down low real quick without you noticing, right? And your like reaction to it is like, why would you do that? Or like you get irritated, right?
Yeah.
So I think when he said music's influential, it has this really big, I would say it does have spirits connected to it,
Yes.
that. But for music to have that much of an impact on what you do to someone else or what you do to yourself, I think that's what popped out to me when he said music's influential.
All right. I'm looking at the live chat and we had a comment that came through and it says music can draw you in. Movies are a great example, movie soundtracks. And it's true. I don't think people realize it, but this is not trying to be too deep, but I studied music when I went to college first time. And it is a scientific fact that certain sounds evoke certain emotions in the human body. If I play minor sounds or minor chords in a succession, it either causes people to feel fear, it causes people to feel sadness, it causes people to feel depression. It can actually bring somebody down. If I play nothing but major chords or melodic major chords, what happens with those is that they make you feel a little bit more happy. They make you feel a little bit more upbeat. And see, this is the thing. We know this scientifically, but let's go beyond the scientific fact. Chris, you brought up a good point. Most people don't realize that the devil, who is Lucifer, by his proper name, was once an angel. And he was the archangel over what? Music. Mm-hmm. He had control of music. It even talks about it in the Bible. When the dude walked, he just walked. He just breathed and walked, and music flowed from him. And he knew the power that he had from doing that. But he got full of himself because he thought he was just as good as God, because he could create something so great and something that was so wonderful and so majestic that he could be greater than God. And then, of course, he got booted. The thing is, I don't know. And, I still got to do some research on it. I don't think he lost the ability to create music. I don't think he lost the control he had over music. And that's why music is something that can be impacted so easily. And that's why, I hate to say it, but in the music industry, there are so many spiritual connections to it because people know the spiritual aspect that goes with it, knowing these things that we know. So there are some of the negatives. Now, y'all brought up some great positives.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I just want to add to your point before you move on. When you said, like, basically it's strategic. It's not just a random song that they put out there. It literally is strategic. And it's interesting because yesterday I was in Facebook land and I just got lost. And I started watching this video of the baby. And it was an interview with him. And basically he was like that he, even in his songs, if y'all ever heard any of his songs, he comes on right when the beat comes on. Like he, normal songs, they might wait 15 seconds and then, let you feel the beat and then start singing or rapping. But he said, as soon as that song, you turn the song on, boom, there he is. And he said he does that because for a purpose. I never thought about that, but he does it because he knows that, like, as soon as you hear that beat, you don't want to turn it off. You know what I mean? It don't give you time to let me change the song. He wants you to feel it right away. And I feel like even in that simple just timing of, where he decided to start rapping, it plays a big impact on how we feel when we listening to it.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good what you just brought up there. And it's a proven fact. We know these things. So I want to play a quick game with you guys. All right. I want to see if y'all could tell the difference between a Christian song and just a general song. Okay. So you tell me whether you think it's a Christian song or you think it's a general song. All right, you ready? Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna start playing it and I'm gonna put y'all into it so y'all can't see it. All right, get ready. All right, so what is that one?
Well, I like song. So
What is this one? Oh, I got turned up a little bit.
Definitely.
All right. So was that one a gospel song or just was a gospel song, just a general song?
That's a general song.
That's a song called Benny and the Jets. It's one of my favorite non-gospel songs because I like the music. Now I'm gonna show you something else that's pretty funny. All right, get ready for it. And while y'all out there in TV land, if y'all got comments, questions, or anything else y'all want to bring up to us, make sure y'all drop those comments over there on Facebook Live for us. We are looking at them. We are paying attention to them. We will respond to you if you respond to us. So we love you and we appreciate you. And we're doing this also for you guys. All right. All right. Sorry. Of course, when you need to do something, you know how slow your computer will start moving, right? Like always. All right.
Too fast.
So, yeah. Nah, I'm fast, but I ain't that fast. So, anyway. Here we go.
He's waiting for you.
Gospel.
All day, right? Okay. All right, so you can hear that one, right? Oh, hold on. So y'all said y'all could hear that one and you heard gospel immediately, right? Just because of the tone. All right, well, we got another one on here that'll work.
Give us a hard one.
All right, I'm about to give you a hard one, okay? I know this one probably gonna stump a few people. Here it goes. Oh, we did get some love on the we get some love on Facebook. So I appreciate you guys responding there to us, showing us some love.
We can't hear it.
Oh, you couldn't hear it? Oh, hold on.
But I got the click like a metronome, lit that's immeasurable. New intellectual, yeah. I was the Oreo coming up. Told him at least I'ma get my degree, then I'll be back on the scene and my cream will be double stuff. Either that or Winnocular. Started boxing to toughen up, then I met Jesus and seen that the strong don't survive. They will sacrifice all for the other one. I ain't got no records when we bragging on it under the blood.
It's definitely.
I'm gonna say gospel because he said he met Jesus. So
there you go. Yeah. So that one was called Monster.
I know who the artist is.
Yeah.
They gave it away.
Yeah. So yeah, that one I was trying to hide it because it's not trying to show it, but that one was called Monster. It was from KB. So the whole point is, and you heard the intro, how long it is and how drawn out it is. If somebody were to just to hear that on the street, would they be able to tell you were listening to gospel, or what would they think you were listening to?
They think you listening to regular rap because the beat, they don't expect it to sound like that. Like that's I'll be listening to it. I listen to Christian rap all the time. They don't know.
They can't tell. Some people can't tell the difference, but they think that because of the fact of the style of music that it is that it's not it can't be effective in ministry. And that's a big one right there. So we got a question. I want to bring this one up to y'all and pose it to you. It says, what kind of demonic activity is associated with secular music? And why do you think that is?
I do know that. Oh.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to repeat it again just so everybody can think about it. So what kind of demonic activity is associated with secular music? How and why?
So I was going to say, I have heard like some artists have said that it is a lot of, what is the word? It's like a seance type thing that they do over the albums, and a lot of times in the music videos, if you pay attention, it's a lot of upside down crosses and like, you know, just symbolism. Also like this, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying that they pray over, like not to God obviously, but to Satan, they pray over the music and what they know what effect they want to put on people, what spirits they want to put on people, so they pray over in that way. And lastly, like I remember, like when I was a kid, like grandma and family members would say, like back in their day, that you could reverse the songs and it would say something totally different, like the thing behind it. So I just, if you really pay attention to what the song is saying, though, for real, it's not hidden. It's there. Like it's a lot of satanic stuff going on.
Yeah, it's like subliminal, like she said, and like I believe it carries like depression, carries like, you know, anxiety. Some music just has that spirit behind it, you know. Yeah. And people don't know why they having suicidal thoughts or just feeling like they're not themselves sometimes because of the music they listening to. Because like the music, what it carries, it depends on what type of music you're listening to, and depends on who the artist is. If he's a secular artist, he's higher up, because you got like well-known artists out here that are, you know, have sold their soul to the devil, and so they, you know, have people pray over their music. You know, that's why they talk about like the Illuminati and all that stuff. But it's like, and people like, okay, for example, when we heard about the whole Travis Scott incident, stuff going on, you know, like what's behind his music. You got people out there, you know, having seizures, just all types of stuff, man, happening. Portals being open, demonic portals, people losing their life. Music, the enemy knows how powerful music is. So, therefore, for me, honestly, I just believe like you really got to be careful. Even as a Christian, like you have to be careful what type of music you listen to. Sometimes some Christian music ain't even like Christian music. Got to be careful because it sometimes it appears as an angel of light, even in music. Yeah. Just because it's Christian music, I mean it's Christian music. But yeah. The message that's tied to it and what it's saying, it has an impact. Go ahead, Erica. You look like you was going to say something.
No, they hit basically everything.
Yeah. I remember a service that Apostle Smith was teaching us, and she talked to us about how back in the day with rock and roll albums, they used to literally take these things and they would pray over them and take them to well-known witches and warlocks at the time, and they would have them pray over these albums because they wanted to make sure the message got spread. And by making sure the song got spread, the message was getting spread. The underlying messages, the hidden messages that were there, they've been doing that for years. And unfortunately, they're still doing it now. It's just not just in rock and roll that they're doing it. It's hitting into hip hop. It's hitting into R&B. It's hitting into pop. It's hitting into all different types of avenues. And people don't realize it, that we have to be careful of what we bring in, because like we said, it's got to tie to our emotions. Anything that comes in through this portal, these two portals on the side and the two portals up here in the front, can have a major impact on who you are and what you become. But music, like we said, it attaches to your emotions. And as we've learned, when you're a spirit-led being, if you're led by your emotions, you're unbalanced. And then that's where you get that warring that people feel. That's why some people don't feel comfortable when they listen to certain styles of music now, especially when they got saved. But back in the day, they could listen to it and they didn't have any problem because they didn't feel the warring that they were going through or the imbalance they were going to feel because of what they were listening to. So that's good detail that you guys brought out. And I appreciate that question that came in there. And you know, there was a statement. Some people don't care to listen to words. They just care to listen to the music. So does that not prove the fact that people are driven by their emotions can be driven by just music? Like, would we still agree to all of that fact, or do we all have the same standpoint on that?
I mean, yes, but I don't feel like somebody can just listen to a song for the beat and not think the words don't play an effect. You know, even if that's not their intentions or they don't really care for the words, because you can just think by watching commercials how the song just gets in your head, you know. And not only that, I know that Satan wants our tongue, right? And so if you think about it, if there's witches praying over these albums and then we're playing it in our cars and in our houses, eventually if we're listening to it, we're meditating on it and it's going to come out of our mouth. And it's like when it comes out of our mouth, we're sealing it. Exactly what Satan wanted to put into our lives. When you start confessing it, like it's literally songs that they were saying, like Beyonce, she says demon time all the time. And it's another song. I saw this girl and she was like, I forgot what the song said, but it was just horrible. It was so demonic. And the girl was like, I can't believe y'all saying this part of the song. She said, I love the song and I'm gonna listen to the rest of the song, but I just skip over that part. I'm just like, if they say it in that part of the song, you can't just fast forward. She's like, I don't say that part. It doesn't matter if you don't say it or not. You're meditating on the rest of the song. If it's right there blatantly, it's in the rest of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I didn't eat the hot dog, but I had a bite of the hot dog. You still ate the hot dog. I mean, like, even though you left a part of it out, you still ate the hot dog. Like,
ate pork. No, but Will, you made a good point earlier when you was talking about the sounds, and the first thing in my mind was frequencies, low, like just low, and then high, I guess. So it's like people can listen to the beat of a song and still, I feel like, get affected by that, you know. Not just lyrics.
Yes, that it's the key example I wanted to bring out to you guys, and I have to find it. But one of the biggest things that I remember is music has an influence on us holistically, and here's why. When the children, when they went to walk around the walls of Jericho, they had to walk around the walls 7 times. That was the command that God gave them. And then he said, when you blow the trumpet, the walls shall fall. That right there gave me an understanding of how powerful music is. Like, a note can be blown and walls will fall if you follow in obedience to what he said. But then not only that part, David was one of the most skilled musicians there were in the Bible. And he was a man after God's own heart. Saul was trying to kill him. Saul was on the move to kill him. Saul knew what he wanted to do. But when David played music for Saul, anytime he played music for Saul, at any point in time in Saul's life that David played music for him, it calmed his spirit. It calmed his soul. That right there was so powerful. So, like, when I understood that and I became a musician, I realized that I have a responsibility to honor God with what I play and how I play, but also to know that it has power. What we do as musicians, what we do as singers, what we do if we're involved in music in any aspect, it can have an effect on people. And I don't think people realize how much music plays an impact in their life. But now here's the question, guys. Can you still listen to what you used to listen to now that you've made the change in your life to where you've dedicated yourself to God? Are you able to still listen to those same things? Do they have an impact on you now that you've given your life over? And that's a tough question. So I just wanted to leave that open to see what you guys thought about it.
Repeat that question one more time, please.
So now that you've made the change in your personal life, because, like, you know, you've given your life over to Christ and you're dedicated to him, can you still listen to what you used to listen to and not be impacted by it? Or does it have that impact and influence on you like it used to?
It's a good question.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Anybody can answer first. I wanted to bring this one up because I wanted to hear you guys' answers on this one.
That's a good question.
I can't be honest with you. There's a lot of songs that I like and I miss, listening to, but understanding where I am right now and where I want to be with my walk with God, it's not something that I can do because I know too much, as far as like, I know what they're doing behind it. You know what I mean? And even if I feel like the song is innocent or not, I just know like the spirits, and sometimes just listening to it, sometimes hearing a song, like you said before, it just makes me uncomfortable. Like, okay, turn this off. Or I know that somebody I know is playing a song, a secular song, I pay extra attention to the words, not even trying to. And it's just not only that, I don't want, because like I said in the beginning, music for me, it reminds me of things. It brings me back to experiences or memories, and I don't want to go back. You know what I mean? I don't want to go back to that song. I know for me, if I start listening to one, I used to love Beyonce. I start listening to one Beyonce song, then it's the next, and it's the next, and it just brings me backwards. When it's like God has called us to be holy, and so if anything is contrary to that, it's like that's what you're pouring into yourself. That's what you're giving out, and I feel like when Satan was ahead of music and on this earth, it is not getting any purer. It's literally getting more wicked. It's kind of like, what's your point in even still listening to it? It's kind of, you just gotta, for me, this is my opinion, you gotta cut it out. That's my opinion. Because for me, but
Shoot, if you can't go to sleep listening to secular music, then you shouldn't listen to it at all. Because that thing influence your dreams, state, all that.
Yeah.
I go to sleep listening to gospel music, worship. So it don't matter. It's still entering into your gates. It's still affecting you.
Yeah.
It's like that. Period. It don't matter if your perception may change of it. Like, dang, I used to look at this as good music. I love this music. I grew up off of this. Like for me, like I'm old head. I know most of the old school R&B songs and stuff like that. But like I don't feel right really listening to it like that. It just a lot of times, it was supposed to be love music, but it was like that back in the day. Like they carried just hurt. You know what I'm saying? They singing a love song, but they hurt in the process. So it's like they really pouring out that emotion or that spirit, and you listening to it, but then you start feeling like, dang, like you start thinking about something that hurts you, and then it just, it's not. It brings you back. It brings you to that place. Wow.
Okay, Erica, you was getting ready to say something.
I was done with my dad. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, I have to second that. But I mean, I had to find alternatives. But I will say I still like Janae Aiko. But I did have to find alternatives because it's to a point of like you listening to certain things and it's like, why am I listening to this? Like it gets like she's like CJ said, when you know what's behind it or what they're doing behind it, it's not, I'm just going to say pure intentions, it's not to better you, it's not what you are supposed to be living by, it gets to a point, you got to cut it out.
Yes. Yes.
Can I add to that, Erica? Go ahead, Chris.
No, I was going to
go ahead because I got another question I'm going to bring up to you guys when we get done with this part.
The music sound good. You feel me? Like it ain't like it's bad music. It's like it sounds good to the natural ear. You want to listen to it, but it's just not good. But
I was just gonna say, like when Erica brought out like Janae and just artists like that, like I agree. It just sounds like Chris said, it sounds good. Like you just like it. Sometimes you can connect. A lot of times you connect music and that's what makes you like it. But sometimes you gotta think about it. Like it seems like Fantasia even said it about her song. She was like, if it was like, why don't you sing these songs anymore, these certain songs anymore? And she was like, well, do you want to be married? Do you want to be in a relationship? And they were like, yeah. She said, well, you got to stop singing my songs. because she was saying like that's keeping you stuck basically. And like you listen to songs where you felt like at one point in your life you related because of a breakup or because somebody did you wrong, and it feels good when you listening to it, but that's just keeping you there. It's bringing you back to that memory, that feeling, and you're connecting in that way. It's not uplifting you in no type of way.
You carrying a baggage when it comes to that song. There is an attachment to that song, and it's an emotional attachment that keeps you from being able to free yourself emotionally and free yourself spiritually from that song, right? So that's it. So now here's a good question, and this one I don't want to say it's too deep, but like from you guys' perspective, we hear it a lot in the ministry that there should be a sound from heaven. What do you think is the sound from heaven? What is your idea of the sound from heaven?
Can I say?
Go ahead, Erica.
I'm glad you asked that because I was thinking about this actually today. So I was very stressed, like on the verge of like about to start crying because I don't like being stressed to the point of like crying, you know, because coding will do that to you, you know, but it got to a point of I had to step away from my laptop and turn on some calming like Christian music, you know. I gotta find the song because I actually like the song, but it's like it calmed me down so quick, you know. But it's just like I don't know exactly how to explain it, but the effects that music has to calm you in a matter of where you feeling stressed or upset and you just playing that and it calms you down. It's just, I've noticed that. But go ahead, CJ. I think you were going.
Did you? I thought you had something. Oh, I'll go. I like what Erica said because it's like it ministers to you, you know, like in that time where like you need. It's like your question was what was your question in particular, Will?
So the question is exactly what is the sound of heaven? Like what would that sound like? What does it sound like, especially for the church? What would the sound of heaven be like for us?
Go ahead, Erica.
I was just peaceful. That's it. It brings peace. The word will be peace.
Yeah, I agree. I believe it is that state of worship, like not like how sometimes like in church it's just y'all just start flowing. You know what I mean? You just flow with the Spirit. Holy Spirit leads, and you just start playing. You just start singing. You're singing from not your flesh, but you're singing from your spirit. It's pouring out in that way. And I think like even think about like a lot of times ministers who minister song, they shouldn't get on the stage to sing if they're dealing with things, because that's what they begin to pour out onto the people, right? And so when it's like a song coming from heaven, it's kind of like not only is it you that it's affecting it, it's pure. It's like it's affecting you in that way because it's not even you singing it. It's just the Holy Spirit ministering through you, and it's getting more than just you, but it's reaching everybody. And then it's just like God is.
It's like the angels, how they cry out, holy, holy. It's like that sound. It's pure, it's so holy. And they're glorifying God. And he just sitting at the throne, just taking it all in because it's pure.
Yeah.
That's when I think of heaven.
And I mean, like I said, don't want to be too deep here, but for me, honestly, when I hear the sound of heaven, it literally is like, it's just a tone or a vibration. Like we said, it's a vibration that we get from God. And like, he just causes it to pulse, and he just continues it to just pile on top of each other. And when we start playing sounds that we get from that vibration, and it just rings in our ears, and it brings us to a point to where we can shut out everything that we face, and we literally only see the presence of what heaven is representing. See, like I have a hard time when I play of like not closing my eyes at times, because I literally can see what I'm playing, and I literally see, like, I see God sitting there like just smiling, like, yeah, son, that's what I want to hear from you. Like that's, for me, is like sound from heaven. And that when I get into that area of worship, I'm just like, ugh, just sometimes I want to run off the keyboard and just go fall on my face. But yeah, that's just me. But yes, that is true. So if we find the sound from heaven, how do we keep that? So when we go to our worship experiences that we have, and we're gonna go from talking about that, but when we leave from our worship experiences, how can we carry that out throughout the week so that way we can have an impact musically for other people? Like, how do we help people draw out of what they're stuck in? How do we help get people away from the things that they've been stuck in, especially when it comes to their choices of music? How can we help to influence them?
I don't think I understand.
I can understand, but that's still broad.
Okay. So you got a friend who's stuck listening to rap. All he do is listen to hip hop. All he do is listen to hip hop. How can you influence that guy to change his mind and get rid of the hip hop? Or what could you give him instead to get him to build a relationship with God? Like what style of music could you do? Or how is there any way that you can find a connection?
Oh,
yeah.
This is interesting because I have a friend and literally this is going on. And she, like, God is just doing a lot in her life right now. And she likes Janae Erica. She loves her and she just always playing her songs. She plays other stuff too, but it's mainly her. And she told me, she was like, why do I she's going through a breakup. She's like, why do I keep being sad? I'm trying to get over this. Or why do I'm always depressed or whatever. And she kept saying that. And I said, why don't you try closing the doors in your house? So like, stop watching, those TV shows that you was watching that had a lot to do about relationships, and stop listening to secular music. And she's she's just learning about God, so she's not on like a deeper level yet. So she was still, all in the music, and so she didn't see anything wrong. And so when I told her to shut that out, literally today we had a conversation, and she was just like, I just feel so much better. Like I feel at peace. And I think to answer your question is like, sometimes you can straight up and say that music you listen to is doing this, but unless they understand and see the effect that they had on their life, they're not going to change it because they like it. It's the connection that they're having, especially emotionally. And so I believe that the key to it is to get them to analyze, why are you listening to that? Why do you feel like you can't stop? Or whatever, to analyze the place that they're at, and then maybe not throw something at them right away, but just try it a week without any of it. You know what I mean? And just see how you feel with that. And then sometimes when you go on a fast, like me and Chris, like we on a fast, once we get off, we don't want to eat junk. We don't want to eat, certain types of foods because like we feel pure and we don't want to feed it that. So sometimes even if it's a music fast, you go on that fast for a week, stop listening to anything. And then when you get off of it, you only want to pour into it holiness.
She's gonna touch on every topic, y'all. Tell it. I don't even know what to say. What's the question again?
Sorry.
Nah, tell me.
Okay, hold on. Erica, you got something to add? Because I'll bring the question back up if you need to.
I do.
Okay,
and
go ahead.
I'm gonna say shout out to TikTok, because TikTok will show you alternatives. Yeah. Like I found the song I was listening to. I think I sent you this song, CJ, but it's Madison Ryan Ward.
Yo, I like her. Yeah. She's dope. Yeah.
That's who calmed me down today. Shout out to her, because I was afraid to crying. It was not okay. But I think I wouldn't say making people go cold turkey, but I mean, that does help. But I think sending them songs like, it might sound like so-and-so or whoever they might listen to, but it helps them kind of, change the path a little bit.
I was playing some Christian rap, and I asked my client, I was like, you know this Christian rap, right? It's like, no, I didn't know that. Bro, start asking me what the name of the songs was. Like, bro, what's this song? Oh man, what's that song? Start downloading it on his phone. I was like, dang, like I didn't know if he was gonna be feeling like that, but it shocked me to know, like, it's people out here that didn't even know Christian rap existed. Like, oh, it's such thing as Christian rap. And so they didn't even know that it was an alternative. So they just stuck listening to what they listened to. But when I opened the door like that and just told them about about it then. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to go to the extreme to get to where you want to be at. I can give you a perfect example. Like when I really got serious about my relationship with God, I'd have to say it was back in like 2003, 2004. Yeah. I was DJing at my school for the freshmen, the little freshman get together that we had for the band members. And while I was DJing, I just lost the feeling for what I was doing. And like, I just lost track of the music. And I usually, as a DJ, you can lay tracks out and you know what's going and you know what blends together. And I just couldn't feel it. After the party got over, I went to my room and I literally took my hard drive and just deleted everything, just did a clean wipe. And when I did that clean wipe, I lost all my Ja Rule. I lost all my Juvenile. I lost all my No Limit. I lost all my Jay-Z, all my other stuff. I literally lost all of that because I didn't have a taste for it. But what had happened was I had to go to the extreme. I realized back then that I had to get myself away from what was keeping me where I was at. That's why when I said, you don't know the emotional tie that you have to stuff, if you don't get your spirit and your emotions broken from things that you don't need to be involved in, they're going to keep creeping back to you. Yeah. And it can take a sound to cause you to fall back into that thing. It can take a noise that you hear that reminds you of another song that brings you back to where you weren't wanting to be. So sometimes it is going to take the extreme to be able to get rid of what you've done before. So that way you can go on that new path of what you need to do. So like you said, when you said come up with substitutes, that's what you were hearing from me. That's why like my playlist of music is a lot of substitute stuff that has come into my life to help me still vibe the way I like to vibe, but it's doing it in a manner that's still pleasing God and it's honoring God. And that's a point that a lot of people got to get to where they got to be willing to cut off those things. That's literally why he says in the Bible, for if an eye is causing you to sin, pluck it out. Your sin could be your music that you're listening to, and it's causing you to keep falling back into sin. Well, pluck that out, meaning get rid of listening to these songs that you like listening to, or find an alternative to that to get you off. Because sometimes cold turkey ain't gonna work unless you like me. You can just delete your whole hard drive and start all over again. Do that.
Wait, you made a point. It took me like 20, I don't know. It was 16, 15.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But grandma, she said, it was at a meeting. She said you have to die daily.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what that is. You have to die daily with that.
Yes.
Hey, let me ask something to because Will, you get me stirred up, bro. But when you was talking, I was thinking about, how like smells bring us back to like different memories and stuff like that. Then I thought about music. Music is a fragrance. It can literally bring you back to periods in your life where you were in sin and things like that. It's like God is saying, cut that out. Stop going back. Because I believe you listen to the right song, it'll take you back. You meditate on it long enough. But worship is a fragrance to God. It's a sweet fragrance to him. Pure worship. So it's like he wants us to be a pure fragrance, not contaminate ourselves with, whatever fragrance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
That's good.
Staying fragrance.
That's good right there. That's good right there. And that fragrance and that sound, when they meet, you experience and you can taste heaven. And that's what we want to make sure you guys get a chance to do. So as we close down for the night, you guys got any words of advice for all the people that are out here watching us, that are listening to us, or anybody that's going to listen to us in the future? By the way, this is another science lesson for you. Music, sound, any sound that goes out, it gets carried out into your quote universe, which is into the world, and it exists forever. Sound never stops. So because sound never stops, this recording is going to be out in the universe, out in your multiverse, or whatever you want to call it, for the next 200 years. So when you come back and you listen to what we're talking about, we're just trying to get you on track and get you to build a relationship with God. But anyway, you got any final words y'all want to leave with anybody?
I do. I say this to my friends, and people laugh at me when I say this, but I'm for real. If you don't want your grandma to know that you're doing this or that, don't do it. That's it.
Simple.
Yeah.
That's good to live by.
That's true.
Mama.
That's good to live by.
You already know though.
She knowing the spirit.
Yeah, we can't talk about y'all's grandmother because she know y'all. She can sense it in the spirit. How you doing, Grandma?
I see you in the spirit. Yo, my grandma used to say that all the time. Like, she was like, I'm proud of you. You're doing good. And I used to be like, Mama, how you know? I see you. See me in the spirit. Man,
we didn't understand what they did back then, but now we do.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I don't think I have a word, but as you was talking, Will, I thought it's crazy. It sounds so corny, but y'all know Missy Elliott, music make you lose control of that song.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what she's saying. I know she's talking about dancing and all that stuff, but literally she's saying music makes you lose control. So if you're gonna lose control for Jesus, okay? Worship Jesus, lose control in that way. Let the Holy Spirit take over where you have no control. Don't let Satan have control, because lose control, you can lose control mentally, depression, anxiety, anger, all these things that's holding you down that you feel like I don't understand why I'm here. It's because you lost control. That's why. Thank you, Missy.
You lost complete control. Especially when that music is mixed with alcohol. What ABC spirits is spirits. Plus the music, you in the club with the music and you drunk, so you don't have control really at all. You're done.
Yeah, you talking about things I have seen. And like, I remember, thank you, Jesus, that I don't see those things anymore because I don't do those things at all. So exactly, man, it's a big difference. But it's funny. Like I said earlier, music has an impact, and we're not going to run away from it. So let's let this thing that God gave us, that He blessed us to be able to hear and to be able to receive, let's make it a positive. Let's use it for the kingdom. Let's take those steps. And hey, if you need us, reach out to us. You see these names on the screen. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on, some of us on Twitter. You can find some of us on IG. You can find some of us on Snapchat. Just reach out to us. We're there for you. We just want to talk to you and tell you that we love you. We appreciate you. And we'll put you on a path. Hey, you like listening to her? There's some great songs that she got. But then I got some other people that wrote some Christian songs that are like right around that same path, put you in that same mood, put you in that same zone. But right where you are right now, we want to pray for you. We want to just tell you that we love you. So God, we're just gonna take a moment here. We're just gonna pray and let you know that, Father, we appreciate you. We appreciate the time that we had tonight. We appreciate you just letting us have this conversation that way we can be able to share with the world that you are the head musician. You are the one who's blessed us with so many talents. You've blessed us with so many things, and you've brought a sound into our lives that helped to change us and impact us. And God, we ask that you just allow that same change that we experience for us to be able to share with others, to be able to draw them to you, so that way they can understand that there is peace that they can experience. There's love and joy that they can experience from the sound that you've given us and from the sound of this music that you bless us with. So we thank you that the word is going to ring forth into people's hearts and people's minds tonight, and that they will hear your voice, the best sound they can ever hear, the voice of you calling to them to let them know that you love them, that you're going to take care of them, and that you are their Father. So we humble ourselves to hear your voice, to hear that sweet sound, and we want to honor you with our lives and everything we do. So it's in Jesus' name we give you praise, honor, and glory, and we just want to say we love you. And we all say amen. Amen. So we want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. We hope that what we talked about was something that brought joy to your life and also made you laugh a little bit like we do sometimes. But we also want to make sure we left you with something to think about. And that is that music can have an impact. What impact is it going to have on you?